Hi there. Here's an idea that came to my mind actually just a couple of hours ago in a social media conversation I was in. And maybe you can have use of it. It was the discussion about all of us being on digital meetings. And then I noticed that some of the ones participating mentioned that it doesn't feel that natural to be here on a digital channel for a meeting. And yeah, in some sense they do have a point. But then I started thinking about all the physical meetings I've been to during my life. And I mean, how many could it be? My guess, several thousands. And then I was thinking of what actually normally happened during all these meetings I've been to. You sit there in a room that actually doesn't look that similar to, at least not my living room back home. It's an office meeting room. And then nearly everyone seemed to be sitting in a certain kind of position. And it seems like nearly everyone participating during the meetings more or less already know what people will say, who's going to speak, what are the people coming about to say and feel about a certain idea that might be on the table. And then it came to my mind, what would actually happen if I just stepped up and started walking around in the room when it was my time to speak? And if I, on top of that, started speaking about things that I did not really know and just spoke openly without knowing my own opinion on the topic, just being curious and see what would happen and where could we end up if we tried to think a bit differently. It wouldn't feel that natural, would it? So the more I thought about it, it came to my mind that could actually the old physical meeting be very unnatural compared to the digital meetings. For instance, at a digital meeting, at least so far, it seems fairly okay to mute your own voice and face if you find the meeting boring. But at the physical meetings, how would that feel if you suddenly put a bag on your head if you felt that meeting to be boring? No. You're supposed to play as if you were engaged and involved and actually were interested even if you were not. So is actually being on a digital meeting unnatural and being on a physical meeting natural? No, definitely not if we think of it. So I think it's not about what's being natural versus unnatural. I think it's about habits and what we're used to. We used to have the physical meetings. We're even so used to having them that we feel that they feel natural, even though they're not. And I think there is a learning point here, an interesting one, which is far bigger than being about Zoom or something. It's about habits. Some habits we've had them for such a long time that we even on individual level might consider them as natural, and when digitalization arrives we start feeling it's not being natural, even though it actually can be far more natural than the old habit we had. Now imagine we want to launch a lot of digital technologies into our company or into the market. We shouldn't be surprised if it takes time to get things accepted, simply because we have old habits that are so deeply embedded into us that we feel that they are the ones that are natural. Maybe it's something to think about next time you launch a new digital project.